Welcome. Oh, this is very difficult to do now. Welcome to another episode of Barbell Junction. My name is Azmi, your host, and with me today is Syazana Alia.
Hello, hi.
By the way, this is our last episode for 2019. So Alhamdulillah, I just would like to thank all our guests who came on and support us. I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you, and hopefully we will continue this podcast in 2020. In any case, if you are new here, please go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to it, and do click the notification button so that you know when we post new videos. Also, if you listen to us on the way during your commute, we are also available on Spotify. So there is no reason for you guys not to either watch or listen to this podcast.
You're listening to Barbell Junction, Malaysia's first strength and fitness podcast, brought to you by Zealfit Malaysia, a distributor of Eleco strength equipment.
Okay, welcome back. In case you guys, of course you guys don't know this, but we actually went on for 5 minutes and I forgot to press the record button.
But I'm glad you did that. At least that warmed me up because I was actually quite nervous at first.
So I could see that.
Yeah, I'm kind of like cool.
So I apologize to you.
It's
but,
okay. It's okay.
Let's go ahead and do your introduction again.
Yeah, it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
So my name is Syazana Alia. I was a Zealfit member before this.
Past tense. Unfortunately for me, it's past tense.
I worked out here before. That's when this was like a few months back when Zealfit just opened.
Earlier this year,
earlier this year. That time I wanted to learn more seriously about weightlifting. That's when I also signed up for a personal trainer and everything. So but before this I was never active, so I just started exercising last year sometime around September. So everything was very new for me. I just wanted to try a lot of things at one time, and now I am slowly trying to find the balance between the sports that I really can excel.
Right.
Yeah.
So what sort of sports are you doing? I mean, what sports were you doing and what are you doing now?
All right. So I started. By the way, I am not an athlete, obviously. So I am working as a medical officer. That's actually equivalent to I'm a doctor. Working in a government clinic, so I see mostly chronic diseases patients like diabetes, hypertension, and heart problems. At one point, I was thinking like we have like so many of these patients, and it's getting more and more. There must be something that we need to do in order to prevent all this rather than treating this. So coming from a primary health care, lifestyle modification is our number one management, and in order for you to walk the talk, you gotta live one too. So I started taking up exercise sometime around last year by joining this sport called CrossFit. Yeah.
Right.
So at first I was very impressed with the tremendous results from the sport. Then after that I wanted to improve more because in CrossFit we involve Olympic weightlifting.
Right.
Yeah, hence I went to Zealfit. That's when I found out about I didn't know about Eleco.
Right.
I didn't know like how
nobody
big.
does. Yeah, but hopefully this show will rectify that.
No, people who don't do weights and like who don't exercise, who didn't exercise like me. Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah.
So then after that I started to run, and right now I'm running competitively, and at the same time I still do CrossFit and a bit of weightlifting. So I'm trying to find, and I'm trying to find the balance between these two.
Right. So you are still doing CrossFit,
Yes.
just not at Zealfit.
Well, currently I am doing CrossFit at CrossFit Pahlawan in Chitamor.
Pahlawan.
Yeah, I'm buatan Pahlawan.
Mm.
So and I joined the class at 6 in the morning. So my routine is like this: I wake up at 5. I join the the training at from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Then I will rush to shower, either at the gym or at my clinic, and start to work at 8 a.m. And if you come to my clinic, the workload is like it's
from 9 to 5 lah, from 8 to 5 lah.
8 to 5, and we have we the number of patients that come to our clinic is between 7 to 800 per day. So it demands a lot of mental and
How many do you
physical
see?
health. We have about 12 to 13 doctors.
So almost 80 lah, almost 50 60.
Yeah.
My God.
Per day, yeah. So like that's when people ask if you can, how do you do that? You are already very exhausted from work. How do you like manage to work out early in the morning and after that go to work, and after your work you train to run?
Okay. So
because my clinic is located very near to the Panasonic Stadium. The track. So after work I would take like probably half an hour or 1 hour rest, eat something, and I would just run.
for how long?
Probably about 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, depending on my training, whether I'm doing a 10K run or a speed training. Yeah.
We'll get into the running part a little bit later. I just wanna. I remember that last time when you were here, many moons ago, you mentioned about. We spoke about. Was it sports medicine? Sports medicine, kan?
Yes.
Are you still pursuing that?
Yes, but I probably would do that as an additional paper to what I'm doing now. I'm more interested in family medicine. Yeah.
What does it mean?
The one that I'm practicing now, the primary health care.
Okay.
So is a specialty in managing patients with, for
all
instance,
diseases.
chronic diseases, maternal and child health, more to like community medicine. Yeah. So.
And you also mentioned just now that because you wanted your patients to change their lifestyle, because changing their lifestyle hopefully can prevent them from having all these chronic diseases, kan? And you say that if you want to preach to your patients on changing their lifestyle, you need to be able to change yourself.
Exactly.
Are you saying that a lot of doctors like don't exercise ke apa ke, atau it's just
oh my God. I'm gonna get attacked by saying this, but I'm gonna say this. A lot of them, they don't exercise. But those who do, no, it's I understand that there are things in life that actually restrict you from being active and what's or not, but most of them I find it like they are just excuses. I mean, you don't need so much to be active or to exercise per day. Guideline says you in order to maintain your fitness, you have to exercise 150 minutes per week. That's equivalent to 30 minutes 5 times a week. So like 30 minutes you can easily, I mean, if you lie down on your bed, check out your Instagram, like just do
you have the half an hour already.
Exactly, right. So in order to maintain your health and also fitness, you just need that much. But if your goal is something else like weight loss or you want to perform in certain sport, yes, it is a bit more demanding than that. But I do know a few specialists like Dr. Arvid.
Arvid, shout out.
He's pursuing in specialist program. So he is also he's a power lifter.
Yes.
Yeah, and besides what he's doing, currently he's in master's program to become a sports medicine specialist. He has been exercising for like so many years, and
Right.
he's also a personal trainer. So if he can do that, then why not? I also know a neurosurgeon who's also an Ironman. Yeah, I know a sports medicine specialist who's a power lifter and also did her Ironman when she was doing her. Yeah, it's a she.
Who?
Yeah, I'll reveal that
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
Yeah. When she was doing her masters, I know a family medicine specialist, a mother of
Yeah.
3, who has her own clinic, and she's really good in baking and cooking and doing all this house stuff. But she's quite regular at a podium place for running.
Wow.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all
And
those
she's
baking.
40, but if you look at her, she doesn't look like one. Yeah. There's a lot of.
Do I look 40?
You look. Yeah, you don't
I
look
look-
older
I look
than
50.
21. So yeah, you're good.
I feel 21 though.
Yeah, that's the most important part.
But
Yeah,
how did you start yourself? Because you said you weren't
active.
an active
Person,
person. So, and I'll be honest, I don't believe you because the way you look.
Yeah.
In 1 year,
Very.
tell me
What's the secret?
what's the secret? Like, okay, how did you start first?
Okay, due to some personal issue, I just needed something to occupy my mind and time. So I started with doing CrossFit. No, I started jogging first, and I met an old friend who did CrossFit, and I saw her. She also had a very big results from it. So she was a bit on a bigger size, and when I saw her, I was like, oh, is this even the same person? She's like half of the size, and in fact she's doing full marathon. Before this, she didn't even run for 10 kilometers. So then I started to study more about this CrossFit, aka functional fitness.
Right.
Yeah, the high intensity interval training, which involves weight. So I find that I was intrigued. I tried it. Probably I was doing it a bit more than other people, like going to the box like twice a day.
You
and
did?
Yeah, at one point, yeah. InsyaAllah kan
InsyaAllah.
tadi hidup betul. Then and after that, then at the same time I also looked for personal trainers in order to polish my moves, and I went from one box to another box just to try new things. And so I think persistence is the key. Just keep doing, and I was very happy at that time, so I didn't mind doing it more. But as I go on through this journey, I know that you have to find the balance of it, because if not, you will get yourself injured. That's not what I wanted. Yeah.
And did you find yourself to be better adapted towards like CrossFit than most people?
Probably in terms, I would say not 100%. Okay,
Are you
so
sure, Shah?
yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Seriously, I tak percaya you.
No, because okay, if you look at certain movements like my snatch or my pull-ups, it's still like I still have that mobility issues. So these are probably I adapt more faster in terms of strength. But in terms of skills and techniques, yes, that one experience is the best teacher.
Yeah, okay, that one fine lah.
Yeah.
I'll just go right out and ask you, how did you get so
lean
and muscular?
That goes back to my hormone. Yeah, it's that also that differs from one person to another. So like a lot of people ask, how can you perform so fast? How can you get everything that you are having so fast, and you still eat? everything.
You don't diet, kan? I mean, you don't really take care of your diet, or do you?
Not so intense. Like I don't really calculate my macros and everything, but because I think that's, I don't know, it's not sustainable for me. But yes, if someone wants to perform better at what they are doing, that's the best actually.
Right.
But as long as I eat a balanced and healthy diet, that should be good enough coming from a health practitioner perspective, right?
Right.
So like I mentioned, I'm not a full-time athlete, so I don't really have to mind all this. But because now I run competitively more compared to doing weightlifting or CrossFit, and we have races, right? So we have when we already sign up for these races, we have targets, and these are the times when we have to watch out our diet.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the only thing that I do. Okay. So back to like why some people they get all this faster than others. Okay, hormones plays quite an important role. That's one, and we need to know the person's body type.
Correct.
So generally, so we have 3 types of body type. We have ectomorph, endomorph, and mesomorph.
Endo.
But you have more muscle mass, especially compared to the ectomorph. So if you want to gain muscles, bulk up and everything, you definitely have more advantage than the ectomorph. Yeah, you just have to be a bit more persistent and
I don't.
Yeah, that's the thing, the discipline to do that, right? A lot of people have difficulties in that. In order to start, it's hard, but in order to maintain it, that's even harder.
Yeah.
I feel, because we are talking about long terms, right?
Yeah.
So like as for me, I'm very clear with my goals and what I want to do. So I have my ups and downs, but right now, because I have been doing it like consistently, if I don't work out more than, for instance, 48 hours, I go crazy. Yeah, I go crazy like. So
you got the bug already lah. I mean, you cannot live your life without any form of exercise.
It will affect my, not just psychologically. It will affect my mental health. Yeah. As in, like, I'll get cranky at work. I don't want to scold my patients. So.
But going back to that body type, so you're saying that you're mesomorph lah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And did you? I mean, were you? Do you know that you are a mesomorph before you started all this?
No, I didn't.
So were you skinny? Do you mind if we talk about this?
Was I skinny? I used to wear Levi's size 32, and that's for men. Yeah, I had like very big hips and everything. At one point, I wanted to like just kill myself looking at the mirror in a changing room.
Kill yourself, guys, please.
Oh, you're sorry. No. I just want to kill my tie. I just wanted to like just kill my cut it off because it didn't look good. And I had like trouble with that for like so many years. Then now, a lot of people, especially those who are close to me, look at the changes and they were like, how did you reduce your lower body part? How this is like so different. Oh, so I heard you have 6 packs now. Can I touch it? Can I see it? I was like, okay, yeah.
So I think can I say that you are basically those people who are considered as like genetic freaks lah, in a way, right? Because in a short time, even when you came in January, February to here, right? I can already see that you have very toned biceps and all that, right? So that's just, come on, that's 4, 5, 6 months you can.
But I didn't do any like specific hypertrophy workout for certain muscles. So
you're a freak. In a good way.
Alhamdulillah. I think so. Yeah, and not just that. I find that I can also perform quite good in a cardio exercise like running. Yeah. So, but then again, when it comes to strength, if I were to follow a training plan that is progressively overloading, maybe I can probably nail that too. At one point, I was doing I think because that time I just started CrossFit. My PR for back squat was 96 kilo.
What the?
I think that time I started CrossFit on September kan, so I did that 96 kilo of back squat sometime in June ke July ke something like that lah. So
I think a lot of people will hate you right now.
tak. but when I look back, the skills and my technique, it wasn't really at its best. So if I were to do that like not supervised or not in a proper way, it will lead to injury. So I didn't want to. That's why I'm taking things slower now, back to basics, going back to a lighter weight with a proper skill, proper form. Same goes with running. Instead of straight away joining ultra distance 50 kilometers run, I'm going back to basics, doing my running drill so I can perform better.
Okay, so you started out with CrossFit.
Yeah.
So how did you get into running?
Because friends. Yeah.
Which do you find more enjoyable, CrossFit or running? I mean, both for me is like horrible lah kan.
No, it's not. Of course, it's not. So I have this running club, my homebound running club called Shah Running Club. Hey guys.
Hey.
So we usually run every Wednesday for 10 kilometers, 5 kilometers.
At the Panasonic Stadium?
No. This one we gather at Shah Alam, Dataran Shah Alam, somewhere the old museum there. So every Wednesday, 8:30 we would gather there, and there'll be youngsters, mothers who brought their kids, and there'll be a lot of people from different levels and we will just leisurely run together. And but we also have specific programs for specific levels. Like on Tuesday we'll do speed training either at Bukit Gasing there or Panasonic area there. Then we do a LSD, long slow distance running over the weekend. I started running because of a friend who she didn't want to, she thought that it's a bit too much for her to start with CrossFit first, so I accompanied her, and then I signed up for races. So after that I was discovered by ASICS team. If you are into I'm sure quite you all know the brand ASICS.
Yeah, it's good for running kan. If I'm not mistaken, one of the best shoes.
Yeah, Mohaiza, the one who represented Malaysia for SEA Games for male marathon, he's sponsored by ASICS. Yeah, he got bronze for full marathon. Then I was discovered when I was competing in one of the race during my birthday. By this guy named Jason. So Jason Fong. So he approached me and said, "Hey, I think you would be a good candidate. You have a good profile to become one of the ASICS runners." So
what did he mean by that?
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't know by that.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, what do you mean by good profile? I don't have any profile." No, because you are you are athletic, and at the same time you are athletic, you are active, and at the same time you are a doctor. So people would really want to listen to you. People would really want to look at you. So why don't you try to sign this? I mean, why don't you try to send your athletic profile athletes profile. I was like, what?
That's your timing lah. Like 1 kilometer.
Yeah.
Right.
For every race, what's my PB and everything. And besides that, what other sports that I do, and a bit of personal info. So
but again, how did you get hooked to running? Why is running now, from your Instagram lah at least, is seems to be your chosen sport, right? Instead of CrossFit.
Because I'm competitive, so there's more. I think the running community is bigger here in Malaysia. Yeah, so there's more competitions. So
because you boleh menang in running lah kot.
Yeah, I mean, then again, I think the CrossFit community is really it's where I get myself motivated, and that's how I get myself to I get to push myself to the finishing line faster. Yeah, so like from the mental and physical training from CrossFit, I implement it to my running. Then it gives me the strength and also the fitness to actually complete the race, not only injury free but also at a better performance. Hence, I always advise my runner friends to do strength in order for you to perform in running.
Okay, we'll get to that after the break, because we already at the halfway point.
Break, yeah.
And so we're going to talk about the strength aspect in terms of running. And actually, I want to know how you guys train as a runner. I think you briefly touched on it, but let's go deeper on that after the break. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Barbell Junction with me, your host Azmir, and also our guest Syazana Alia.
Hello.
Okay, we left off where you mentioned that how CrossFit benefited your running, kan? So can you tell us a little bit about how CrossFit ataupun strength training helps a runner perform better?
Okay. So first of all, you need to know the benefit of strength training first, kan?
Looking to a nose.
I'm very, I don't know, I can be a bit theoretical.
No, it's fine.
I nak kena cari macam layman term for things.
Yeah.
So it's a bit, yeah.
I gurau-gurau je tau, so don't.
So generally, strength training can help to induce muscle contractions. So it helps to strengthen your bone, your tendons and ligaments. So these are very beneficial, not just in your running or any other sports that you are performing, but also in your daily physical activities. So as for runners, in order for us to run injury-free, we have to have strong glutes, strong hamstring, kan? If not a strong ligaments, strong ankles. If not, in the long term, you will hear because it's a repetitive movement sports. Okay.
A lot of impact.
Yes. So those who don't, if you ask all these elite runners, they will definitely perform strength training in their routine. About 2 to 3 sessions per week. However, this is something that's neglected among runners, because a lot of runners, they don't like to do
lift
strength.
weights.
Yeah, I love to lift weights.
Right, yeah. I know.
I love to look strong and stuff. But probably we don't have to carry that heavy if our goal is to improve in the sports that we are pursuing. Unlike weightlifters, they have to lift more than doing cardio, right? So that's why, like, when it comes to strength training or cardio training, which one you want to emphasize more, it really depends on your sport.
Yeah.
That, like, for instance, you ask me, I'm a parody runner. I think I run more than I do any other sports now. So I do strength, but at the same time, the strength that I'm doing is also cardiovascular related, because CrossFit is not just purely about strength, right?
Right.
So it's also about conditioning and also increasing your endurance and also improve your flexibility and mobility. Hence, it's called functional fitness. That's what I like about doing that, to supplement my running, because I get the benefits of all, and at the same time, it is high intensity interval training, so that will really improve the muscle endurance, which I really use it for my running.
Right.
So a lot of runners, they are just very comfortable of putting on their shoes and just run, because that's the easiest. But when they see all these plates and all these weights, they'll be like, oh no, I can't lift weights this much. I'm so lean. I'm so skinny from my running.
What do you think is the percentages of people who run that don't lift weights? Like in your experience,
in my community,
in your community, would you say like 50% of them do not do any strength training, or is that more? More.
Yeah, unfortunately more. But those who really perform, they all do. They all do strength. Yes.
Okay. Now, when I look at you, again, you don't look like the typical runners,
Yeah.
Right? I should use the word of Jason tadi kan. Jason, was it Jason that discovered you, right?
Yeah.
Athletic. Kan. Usually when I see a runner, they're very skinny.
Yeah.
Their legs are skinny.
Yeah.
But you are opposite. You are almost like a sprinter though. Right?
Yeah.
So do you feel that maybe when you do weights, you are carrying too much weight on you for you to be able to run for a distance?
Yes.
You do. So you do actually feel that.
Yes, that is why. Hence, I mentioned earlier. Now I'm trying to reduce the weights that I'm lifting. Starting to get back to basics. I use lighter weight, more reps, but at a proper skill, proper form. Yeah. So I think that would benefit me more in terms of running, and also in terms of general health and in per se. But let's say if one day I might want to focus more on CrossFit or weightlifting, I would definitely focus more on strength first. So my friend who can carry heavy in CrossFit, most of them, they would focus on doing weightlifting on the programs itself, even compared to doing the WOD and everything else. So in the end, as I mentioned, it really depends on your primary goal. Say you want to perform in which sport. Back to the question about my figures, appearance.
Athletic look.
Okay, well, I think so. Athletic means lean.
I would say a bit lean and muscular lah.
A bit lean and muscular, yeah. So I think that's quite subjective. But just because I look muscular doesn't mean I'm strong.
But I think most people are chasing looks, right?
Yeah. Aesthetics, right?
Aesthetics,
yeah. I never really worked on that. I just
FREAK. You're.
I just go to gym, and like if the next few weeks I'd be like, hey, why my hands look like this? Why all the veins all popping out? I didn't ask for this.
Is it something that?
But it actually,
Is it something that you find attractive, or do you find it like most women? They find it a bit repulsive.
Okay, I have a love-hate relationship with that, honestly, because I didn't I didn't look like this before. So like right now, if I wear my dress or my kebaya or anything, I'll just look like it's a bit different. And I didn't want to intimidate
Men.
men out there. I'm single, so yeah.
There you go,
so
guys. Her number is.
So I didn't want to intimidate the guys out there with this appearance, but I learned to love what I am now, because it's not just about being aesthetically pleased to the eyes, but I feel fit and healthy, and
You look
mentally,
fit and healthy.
yeah, mentally I am sharper.
Right. But is it true that in one of your posts you mentioned your body fat percentage is actually 8%?
8.3%.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Holy crap.
yeah. I need to eat more.
Yeah. Isn't that unhealthy, kak?
It well, actually, if it's less than 8%, yes, I do need to increase it more. Healthy would be more than 10-15%.
10-15.
Yeah, if not, it will affect my
Lipids.
menses and
Hormones.
I might have this. They call it my bone density will be affected. But so that goes back to my training. Right now, and also my nutrition wise.
Yeah, I think so, kind of, because I think either you not overtrain. I don't say overtrain. You train too much, but you eat too less to support it.
You look at the number of patients I'm seeing every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
So I really
Right.
have the time to eat. I mean, I do eat, but I have to eat more.
Yeah.
And
And it's not easy
more
to eat
frequent.
more, kan?
Yeah.
Right? For someone like me, probably eating more is okay, it's easy. But someone like probably you, maybe eating more is not as easy as it seems.
But then again, like I say, because I'm not too rigid about calculating my
Yeah.
macros and everything. So I am trying to increase my body fat. Maybe, I don't know, if I say this to my friends, they'll be like, oh God, we don't want to sit with her.
That's why I said a lot of people are hating you right now.
Give you no lah, tak ada lah.
Kan?
But like I am trying to watch my nutritions and also in terms of training. But then again, because I am also a runner,
So you tend to burn a lot of
yes,
calories.
exactly, and burn fat. To find that balance, that's the hard part of it.
Yeah.
Then again, strength training really helps in order to build lean muscle mass and also strengthen my bone to actually combat the theory that it will affect my bone density and whatnot. So I'm kind of happy at where I am now, despite the low body fat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean it in a negative way. I was just shocked when you said that. Like 8% is almost like when a bodybuilder competes, kan? Bodybuilder competes pun dalam 4% or something like that, kan? Yeah.
I didn't know.
So it's like paper thin. They call it saran wrap, Your skin tu memang tak ada water, they don't have any fat apa semua ni, kan. But anyways, I'm glad that you can accept the way you look, because I think it's fantastic, you know.
Alhamdulillah, thank you so much.
Kan?
No lah, but it's good in terms of, I think probably I might need to increase it more, but in terms of my performance and everything, it doesn't affect so far. So I'm quite happy with it.
So how what sort of runs do you do? Like, is it 5 km, more 5 kms, more 10 kms, more ultra runs ke?
I love doing long distance more than shorter distance.
And long distance means
42 kilometers,
okay,
at least full
marathon.
marathon. Yeah. But at the same time, I also enjoy doing trail running nowadays. Trail running is a longer distance trail running, more than 25 kilometers would be my sport now. Recently, I got number 1 for Ultimate Directions race.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Oh my God, I was like so much drama before the race because I was late. And I
So
think
you
I
started
arrived
late and then you actually won.
Yeah, that happened to my score marathon sometime around April this year. April this year too. I started like few minutes after flag off, but I managed to get a podium place as well. So, but
I think we
maybe
should
I was
end this
lucky.
show. I think I hate her
but
already.
maybe I was lucky. Maybe there's not a lot of people who's competitive at that time. God, so yeah. So no, but that actually a motivation for me. Hence why you ask why I'm into running nowadays,
You
because
keep
of
winning.
not keep winning lah, but yeah, I got to win. So you know, like I think like somebody, a friend mentioned this. I'm not gonna say her name because she also wins all the time. So she said winning is addictive. Yeah, so it kind of is. Probably because I'm still very new in this, so I have not felt all this. So like yeah, it gives you the motivation to just train, and at the same time, when you are training with people who has positive minds, and you love to surround yourself with these people, you know. So this is the kind of life that I'm living now. But of course, at the same time, I also would like to excel in other things like career, family. So I still need to find balance in that. Hence, in order for me to train cardio and weights at the same time, it's still a challenge to find the balance, because you still have a life, you still have other things to consider about. So if people ask me which one comes first, since you are a runner and at the same time you're doing CrossFit, should you do weights first, should you do cardio first? I know answers like it depends on your preference.
It depends.
What is
Always it depends.
it depends on your preference, whatever makes you happy. But then again, there's always a science behind this that actually explains which one benefits more. So I found out that let's say generally, if you want to perform in your sport, you are advisable to say, if you have to choose which one you should do first, apparently you should do weights first, then cardio. Of course, it's advisable for you to separate these two trainings on 2 different days, so you can focus more and perform more. But say if you have very limited times and you need to do these 2 activities at the same time, you are advisable to do weights, then later on you do your cardio. So that's what I'm doing now. That's why in the morning I go to CrossFit, then at night I would go running. Why so? Okay, because theoretically we get our energy from carbohydrates, right? So carbohydrates is converted to glucose, and that fills up our energy. So all these sugars, glucose, that's not that is in excess, will be stored as glycogen in our liver and muscle. So that gives a quick boost to our energy. Both cardio and also weight needs this use this glycogen. However, for weight, we use only 30% of this glycogen. But if it's not enough, it will needs more than this. So okay, if you work out, if you already do your cardio and you don't have enough glycogen, your performance will really drop if you do your weight. However, if you do your weight first and use up your glycogen, cardio actually demands less glycogen than weight. And in fact, if you are running slowly and steadily, it will use up your glycogen slowly and steadily as well. And your body can adapt in a low glycogen form in order for you to run.
Correct, because it's aerobic.
Yes, exactly.
And then learn this from the last episode.
Yeah.
There's
so
an
you gotta
energy
show, yeah.
energy cycle kan.
Exactly.
So you have your creatine phosphate kan.
Yes.
And then they turn it into apa benda tak. Sorry Will, I know you taught me this but I forgot. Then you go into the anaerobic phase, and then aerobic phase it burns fast, and then an aerobic where it burns slowly. So that's where you actually utilize your energy.
Fat. And after that, from glucose to glycogen, and then eventually your fat.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me remind you again. Aerobic cardio is also known as aerobic training. Strength is an aerobic training.
Anaerobic, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So another theory is our body has these enzymes called mTOR and also AMPK. mTOR is used in muscle growth, and AMPK is induced in cardio. So let's say if you do cardio first, it will activate the enzymes AMPK. Whereby it will promotes fat breakdown and whatnot. So this AMPK enzyme will actually inhibit the mTOR enzyme that can help in muscle growth.
Okay.
Right. So say if you do too much cardio at first, and after that you do your strength training. It will actually inhibit your muscle to gain. So but that's just a theory. Yeah. So then again, there's a lot of debates on that too. But but most importantly, is due to factor of fatigue. Yeah. So if you do cardio first, your muscles, your residual muscle fatigue is more. Hence, you cannot perform in weightlifting after that.
Yep.
So, but then again, if you do cardio if you do weights first, you still have enough energy to do running. Of course, not sprinting. Sprinting, by the way, is not.
Sprinting is anaerobic.
It's anaerobic, even though it looks in a form
fast.
of running.
Yeah.
Yes, like if you are doing a slow run after that. It's still it's still very doable, and you can recover fast as well.
Yeah, but this all depends on that. Again, it depends on the particular person's goal, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Because when we had Will on the last episode, he mentioned about something about powerlifters now. So generally, powerlifters that I've seen here, they just focus on lifting weights, but nothing on the aerobic side.
All right.
But he actually said powerlifters should do some aerobic exercise because it helps in terms of some recovery in the energy system in order for them to perform better in their anaerobic phase. So but yeah.
Even as for us runners, that's why we also have to implement the strength training as well. But then again, there's always a good plan in order for you to really perform at your best for it. So like for instance, if you want and it also depends on your goal, like let's say if you want to lose fat, you have to do about 4 to 6 times of sessions of running, if you are an endomorph, for instance. But of course, if you are an ectomorph, you don't have to do that much.
Oh, lucky me then. 4 to 6 sessions.
4 to 6 sessions of that. But you still have to do strength about 3 sessions in order to maintain the muscle mass.
Because when you do aerobic exercises, you're actually losing muscle mass, kan? Right?
Yeah. So hence I think a good training plan is really, really important. So for you to do that, you have to have good coach. You have to have a good peer who's also doing the same thing. Learn a lot from people's experiences. You have to read a lot. You can't just simply do, and then after that, not only you can't perform, but you also injure yourself.
Right. Shaz, let's just stop there right now. We have to take another break.
Oh, all right.
I want to talk specifically about your training.
Okay.
When we come back.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back after this.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Barbell Junction with me and Shaz, and we're talking about running, kan?
Yes.
We're talking about running, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to know about your training for running. So, can you just walk through us your typical training schedule?
Okay. For running per se, Monday would be Monday. Usually, I don't do training because I work till nighttime. Except for CrossFit. CrossFit I do Monday morning. Tuesday would be my speed training. So Tuesday morning, if possible, I try to go to the box in the morning. But Tuesday I'll be doing a speed training either at the Panasonic Stadium or on my own.
What is a speed training?
Okay, speed training is shorter distance, well planned shorter distance run, which involves a few programs like tempo, fartlek, interval. It is beneficial in order to improve either your speed, your pace, or your lactate threshold, so that you can run faster.
Okay, I've heard of all these terms. Actually, fartlek kan, because it sounds like fart. Those are usually for sprinters kan.
Even for long distance, we implement that so that we can improve our pace in the future.
Okay, so how is that training though? Macam
Okay, so like
how does it look like?
Okay, like it depends on your actually it depends on your goal, whether like for instance, right now my goal is to get sub 4 hours for Seoul Marathon in March. Yeah, I'm joining my first overseas marathon next year.
Kat mana?
Korea.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so apparently it's quite good to get a personal best time there because of the weather and it's colder and everything cooler. You run at the same effort that you're running here and there, you can definitely get a very
better
good
time.
Yeah, better time. So like for instance, when I did my first full marathon, which was this year, that was in March, but I went over distance, so I didn't really get a good timing. But
You went over distance.
yeah. Instead of running 42 kilometers, I ran 47 kilometers. There was like some confusions and everything. So, but that's when I found out that okay, actually I could do this without dying. So that's why I enrolled for another full marathon. But I don't really advise people to do this because I was not trained at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have all this like full marathon training plans, long runs, and everything. I didn't really do that.
You were just excited to do more and more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of people actually are into that nowadays because they see it as the longer you run, the
better you get.
the better you appear. Or like the more badass you look. But actually that's not the case. I learned this like quite a hard way actually. So I joined. I would say my first official full marathon was the Score Day Marathon sometime in April. My target was just to get sub 5 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so I managed to get that, and at that time I won number 6 for that race, and I didn't feel at that time I didn't really feel like dying too. And I was like, probably I should have just
What was your
ran
timing?
faster.
This is proper 42 km lah.
Proper
Not 47 lah.
No.
For 42, what was your time?
I wouldn't say it's not that great lah. It's 4 hours and 50 minutes, something like that. Yeah. But
that's number 6.
Yeah, because for female runners, that's quite okay.
That's number 6.
Probably that time
Shah,
not
that's number 6.
Yalah, tak apa, itu tengok luck juga. Kalau ramai yang tak elite, yang tak join, memang you can get a placing lah, I think
So number 1 at that time, what was her time?
Her time was sub 4 hours, 3 hours and
Wow.
50 something. That's the goal for marathon runners actually to get a
Sub 4.
sub 4. No, actually sub 3 would be optimal.
But
But
sub 3 meaning 2 jam lebih lah.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Like our athlete recently, Mohaiza, his timing was 2 hours and 33 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
What's your best now? Your personal best?
Personal best. Okay, so within April to September, I managed to shave about 30 minutes from that timing. So because my target was let's try to do sub 4 hours would be too ambitious because I didn't have enough training and everything. So my standard chartered was 4 hours and 26. I find that quite a lot of improvement lah from few months back, the score marathon, despite like that time there was a haze situation and everything, so a lot of people was not properly trained and everything lah kan. So even despite a proper training plan, I managed to get that. And the week before 2 weeks before, I joined a trail run, Gender by Ultra, for 30 kilometers. That one I got number 1. That one I got first place. Yeah, I told you it's addictive. So yeah.
So you think that might have affected you punya overall timing for the marathon, the standard chart marathon lah? Because you did 2 weeks before that you actually ran a trail run.
Yes and no. Because at that time I took that training. I took that trail run as part of my training for the standard chartered run. But actually, it's a different game. If you're training for trail and also training for road race, I didn't know any better that time.
Okay, so going back. Tadi you cakap about your training kan. You said on the second day usually you do some speed training.
Speed training. Then on third day, Wednesday, I'll do. Wednesday morning, now I don't go for CrossFit anymore. Nighttime I'll go for long run. Anything that's more than 5 kilometers is long run. Yeah, so 10 kilometers with my running club, Shah running club. Then on Thursday, I would do another long run as well. Because right now my priority is also to increase my mileage. My nearest goal would be to run at sub 1 hour 50 minutes for half marathon at Twin City this January. So I have to run more than 50 kilometers per week at least. Yeah.
So this mileage is macam progressive overloading of your or whatever.
Compared to strength kan.
So instead of more weights, you just doing more mileage.
Yes, exactly. That's why it kind of affected my CrossFit training, because I mean you have to spend more time to run longer, right? And I'm not a full-time athlete, so I cannot like do CrossFit and train for strength in the morning and then rest, like a good recovery, sleep in between, and then run for like 10 to 15 kilometers in the evening. I can't do that. So I sort of have to sacrifice one thing and focus on one goal currently. So right now, running would be my primary goal, but at the same time, CrossFit is still a very plays a very important role to supplement my running. So I do CrossFit 3 times per week now. Running, so this is quite okay. It's only 1 hour, so yeah. Then running probably 5 to 6 sessions. I will force myself to have one passive recovery day, just like not doing anything. That will be a day before my long run, either on Friday or Saturday, because one of the weekends I have to run at least 20 to 30 kilometers. Okay, if you do it like very like if you do it with your friends in a very slow and steady pace, it's actually quite enjoyable. I don't know why
you don't talk when you're running. You just like concentrate. Do you talk?
Actually, it's good to talk. Good to talk when you're running so that you can improve. It means that you are forcing yourself to run at a easier pace, so you can improve your aerobic capacity. That will really help in order to improve your pace in the future. But then again, because I'm not so good at it yet, but I have friends who train at a pace of 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and they force themselves to talk, to have a conversation.
What is 3 minutes 45 seconds? Is that per
kilometers?
Per kilometer. So that means you have a watch lah. You have something.
Yeah. We have to.
So you have
we have to monitor.
So because I was wondering if you're talking, then maybe like how do you know your pace? You know, so you once in a while you're gonna look at your
to maintain the pace, and at the same time try to talk. Try to run at a effortless. Try to run effortlessly. So maintain that a good pace. At the same time, have a conversation with your friends so that
just
that's
takes your
actually
mind
deeper.
away from the running lah, kan?
Some sort, yes, but at the same time, physiologically, it will also benefit in terms of improving your running performance. Because when you're talking, right, it means that you are not out of breath, right? I mean, you're still not out of breath yet.
Betul,
so
yes.
okay, so this goes back to heart rate training zone lah. It's actually deeper than that lah. So that's another topic. So if you can do that at a long and you keep doing that over and over and over again, you definitely can run faster without realizing it, and you feel like it's not so, you're not putting so much effort in it.
Right. And okay, so from what you've mentioned kan, like Monday ada CrossFit, and then malam ada, I think malam tu pun ada running. Second day you do like speed. And then third speed ataupun CrossFit lah, depending kan. And then third day you still have CrossFit in the morning, and then at night you do some short distance. 5 kilometers. Is it long?
Okay, actually Monday CrossFit, malam lari. Monday tak lari, malam. Tuesday pagi CrossFit sometimes, but speed definitely I'll do on Tuesday evening. Then Wednesday morning no CrossFit because I'm gonna do a long run at night. Thursday I'll do CrossFit because Thursday CrossFit at my ward is partner ward, so it's not so intense lah. So at night, depending, I'll do long run or also some interval running training, like hills repeat, some sort of endurance training. Friday I'll try to rest. Then Saturday
long run. Sunday running.
Either that, or we have this thing at Pahlawan called long and hard CrossFit training. So that's quite, that also can be quite intense.
Okay. So explain to us, us mortals ni kan.
No, a lot of people do that actually. Yeah.
If on Saturday you already have a long run, which you said was 20 kilometers.
20 to 30.
30 kan. The next day, I'm assuming you do the CrossFit workout in the morning ataupun not too late kan?
No, not too late.
And you do that hard and whatever fast. You tak burn out ke? Like, how do you manage your fatigue?
Okay.
How do you know that you are not fatigued?
Okay, that's why a day before my long run, I will not do anything at all. So my long run is at a very slow and steady pace. So I recover quite fast from that. No, it's just that recently je yang baru lari 20 to 30 ni because I'm trying to increase my mileage.
I see.
But then before this, my long run would be about 15 kilometers, very, very slow and steady. Then the next day, depending how intense was the run previously. If it's too intense, then I'll just do
Rest lah.
some. I'll just do
Just
yoga.
something yoga.
Yeah. Oh yes. Flexibility and mobility training is also very important. Do not neglect that. Despite cardio and weights, you have to do that in order to stretch your muscle so that you don't injure yourself. And I find it like more relaxing.
So how long have you been on this particular training module or training, whatever you call your cycle?
On a more serious note, probably about since I joined A6.
Which
August.
August.
No, September.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about 3 bulan lah,
Yeah.
3 months.
Yeah.
And any noticeable improvements that you've noticed?
I will see it in my next year
Okay,
for my Twin City and also for the Seoul Marathon.
So basically kan, for a runner, you actually wouldn't know your improvements until
You race. Boleh. You can just do a PB with your friends on a track, do a 10 kilometers run on a track and see your timing. But
you can postulate So maksudnya like, let's say your 10 kilometers is like, let's say lah, I don't know what's the timing, let's say 10 minutes lah kan.
No, the best
Assuming it's 10 minutes
No. That'd be crazy. No
Can.
mortals can do that.
Okay, 1 hour. Was it 1 hour?
52 minutes.
Okay, let's say 52 minutes kan. And then you go on your training for, usually how long is a cycle?
Depends on the distance. 10k is a different cycle.
Let's say marathon, we're talking about marathon.
Full marathon advisable will be 12 weeks to 16 weeks.
Let's say 12 to 16 weeks, okay? So kalau, and then you've already, your current time in a marathon, let's say 4 hours, 20 minutes or whatever it is kan. So you go on this 12 to 16 weeks of training, and then the question is, how do you know that you are getting better? You said you can do a 10 kilometer punya ni kan. So let's say your 10 kilometer before the whole training cycle is about 52 minutes. So kalau katakanlah during the training you do that 10 kilometer, it becomes 50 minutes, and that's how you know you're getting faster?
Yes. But actually there's two different things. Because when you're training for, if you want to get your PB, you just have to focus on that race itself, as in like that distance itself. For instance, if you want to do, it is best to start lower first. If not, you get the burnout symptoms. Okay, so focus on getting your PB for 5k first, which has its own durations. 10k berapa, how much? Then half marathon berapa. When you reach that, then only you go to full marathon and get your PB there. You have to get a consistent PB for certain distance, then you go for a longer distance. That's actually the best way, which it didn't apply to me. I didn't practice that.
Because you are going ultra marathon, you're doing trail, you're doing this, you're doing that kan?
Yeah, so because at that time I just wanted to experiment a lot of things, these things. But then after that I come to realize that it's not right lah for me to do it in the long term. So that's why I am now going back to basics, where I am focusing on half marathon next year. But I'd love to do at least 1 or 2 full marathon. At least 1 lah. Maximum one should do a full marathon pun 3 times je sebenarnya. Per year. Yeah. If not, it's you will overtaxing your body. So like as for me, someone who just started, I would choose one race that I want to focus on, but in between that, the training plan, I would go for like small race, not at my 80-90% effort pun anyway, but just enough probably to win a place on a podium to get myself motivated. Actually, that's very important too. Because running communities is big and there's a lot of events, kan? So you have more chances lah to get all that.
I think people are bored of looking at you on the podium.
Tak ada lah,
kan?
baru
The
je
audio
lagi.
dia, tak ada video
Ya
je.
Allah, baru je lagi. But it's good lah to actually compete, especially with the strong runners.
But psychologically, I'm sure they would feel like macam this is a newbie. She's already placing, and they know that you can only get better. And they have probably macam, I've been doing this for years and then I'm still not on podium.
Yeah, I know. Like somebody asked me, like, oh, how did you get your first half marathon sub 2 hours through a study? How did you do that? What's your training plan and everything?
Flying carpet.
Tak adalah. Oh, tak lah. Tak sengaja lah.
Tak sengaja, oh my god.
Tak tahu lah. I just run je anyway. So macam, but I in the long term, I don't see that as a good thing.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, the other day I attended Arvind's seminar, and
Right.
I realized the cycle of it, when I should start progressively overload my training, when I should detrain. So when it comes to that, and when I understand the physiology of it, now it makes sense lah. So I'm trying to apply that next year. Hopefully, I'll have a better quality in terms of my running. Then after that, I would also like to focus back on weightlifting and so CrossFit.
Come back to Zealfit.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like the best equipments here. Hello, you use Eleiko for Olympic weightlifting. God, that's the best quality ever.
The best, yes. So anyway, Syaz, thank you so much for
Thank
sharing all
you.
this. I mean, we
Thank
went
you.
quite deep into running, I think.
Yeah.
And do you want to say last few words? Few
Okay.
words. Plug in your sponsors ke apa? Go ahead.
When it comes to cardio or weights, which one comes first? I know I've been reading, and a lot of people say that, okay, in general, you should do weight first, then you do cardio so that you don't overtax your heart and you can perform better. There's nothing wrong with doing cardio first too. And most importantly, you should really know your primary goal. Let's say if you are doing certain type of sports that requires you to that is more cardio oriented, of course cardio will be your priority. But if it's strength, then weights will be your priority. However, if you are a fitness enthusiast that just wants to get healthy and better, concurrent training, which is combining these two training, is the best. Go in moderation. Like, let's say if your goal is to lose weight, lose fat, and you're a bit on a bigger size, you probably might need to do a very slow cardio first, just to get that basic fitness level. Because if you straight away go to strength and at that time you are not fit yet, you might injure yourself. That's my 2 cents lah. But eventually, please implement strength into your fitness regime, because that will really benefit you, not just in terms of your strength, into the muscle of your in terms of the strength of your muscles, your bones, and I think in terms of improving your fitness level overall, and also for elderly, to reduce the risk of getting sarcopenia, which is loss of skeletal and muscle mass in the future, will be very, very helpful. So please do strength and cardio together. But then again, which one comes first? In the end, it's
It
still up to you.
depends.
Yeah, it is still. Unfortunately, like even though that's the most like not pleasant answer, it really depends.
Yeah. There you heard that, guys. Do strength training.
Yes.
Yeah. And where can they find you if they wanna know more about running? If they wanna,
okay.
if they want,
I'm
kan
on
have knowledge like find a stalk you tau.
I'm on Instagram. My name is Syazana _Alia. You all can find me on IG, and I run for Shah Alam Running Club on Wednesday night. 8
Is there a Facebook
PM.
page?
Yeah, we have a Facebook page there.
It's Shah Alam
Shah Alam Running Club.
Running Club. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just put the links in the description.
Yeah, and I also run for A6 Running Club. We run at the Bukit Jalil Stadium every 2 Saturdays every month. My session will be on Saturdays, but they also run on Tuesday night at the Botanical Gardens. You all can check out our Facebook page, A6 Running Club. And
what if they want to get cheap A6 shoes? Do you have a discount code?
well, currently there's a promotion, 50% off.
50%. Yeah.
If you purchase online, and we are coming with a lot of lines currently. So I hope you all will try our products, and hopefully it can benefit you, especially in terms of your sports.
All right, there you go, guys. Thank you, Syaz, again for coming and sharing with us your running experience. I certainly enjoyed our talk.
Thank you, Azmi.
You've already answered one of the questions that I have in my head, which is why do people run? Because it just
we get this runner's high, Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me, but okay, it's okay. Now I know. All right. So guys, that's it for this episode. This is the last episode for 2019. So have a safe New Year, and we'll see you back again in 2020, inshallah. See you. Bye.
Bye. Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah, Happy New Year.